Hey, what's up everybody? I wanted to make a video, a review of the Victorinox Swiss Champ. I know that there's probably hundreds of reviews or overviews of this knife out there on YouTube, but I still wanted to put one on my channel. I love this knife. It's one of my favorite knives of all time, including my upper end knives. I use this one a lot, and the Swiss Champ, when people talk about a Swiss Army knife, this is one of the models that they often think of. This, the Tinker, and there's a couple others, but this is a legendary knife, and I just wanted to go over it. I made a video before and I titled it The Useless Tools of the Swiss Champ, and some people took that the wrong way, that I was saying that I don't like the knife. I love this knife. I was just pointing out some things that I thought could have been done better to make it more versatile. This is probably one of their best sellers, so they must have done something right with this knife. But I just wanted to clear that up. I have nothing against it, but a lot of people took this the wrong way, or took that video the wrong way. So anyway, love this knife, but let's go over this real quick. Don't want to take a whole lot of time for this. First and foremost, we have the awl right here. I did a awl comparison, this versus the awl with this Super Tool 300, and with that video I like this one a little bit better. It's a little bit sharper, okay? The Super Tool 300 is not sharpened quite as much. That does make it's by no means razor sharp. I'm putting some good pressure there and it's not cutting me, but there's enough edge there to make this better when drilling into leather or wood, and it does a fine job for that. Also, you have a little eye hole here if you want to, say, thread into canvas. You know, you would thread your thread through that eye, and you can then almost use this as a sewing needle. Or if you're going through leather or plastic, works quite well for that. If you do notice, though, on the tip, notice how, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the very tip is worn away more than the rest. Okay, right there on the very end. And that's because of your lanyard right here. This will fall onto it. Okay, I don't know if you see that or not. Okay, so every time I use this, if I'm not careful, this falls onto that that lanyard ring. And that wears it down. So take a look. See that? I don't know if it focuses or not. It's there. It's not a big issue. It's not ruining it. It's going to have many years of good service, but I just wanted to point that out. Thought it was interesting. Next here we have the, I call it the grabber. I forget what Victorinox calls this, but this was one that made my useless tools. I didn't see much use for it. I got a lot of great responses what it's great for, from picking up pots off a campfire if you're boiling water. They have the metal handles, of course, that way they don't melt. This is great for doing that. I've also found some use for it in the interim, having to pull at some rope one time, and instead of digging into your hands, I just use this. People say it's great for carrying buckets with a metal handle, and I'm sure it is. Also, I thought this would be good if you have some vines or some briars that you have to pull through. You can grab them with this, and it's going to protect your hands. Little flathead screwdriver, kind of has a contour like a bottlenose dolphin. Has that contour so you're able to access it. Okay, it's raised there a little bit, so you're able to get your nail into the groove. One of the things, if you notice there, notice how rounded off that is. See that? The tip, it's rounded off, as opposed to the Super Tool, the Leatherman tools. See how it's not rounded off. It's very crisp, machined very well. And this is machined, but it's polished. So I was thinking of taking that maybe on a grinding wheel or something to square it off a bit more. It just doesn't seem to grip quite as well as what I would like, and it's because it's polished. It's not a huge problem, so don't take that the wrong way. It just doesn't grip quite as well because it's polished. Here we have the chisel. I've used this quite a bit. It's good for both wood and any kind of soft material. Very sharp. Very sharp. I don't know if you can see that there. But, I mean, just minimal pressure. Obviously on my nail it's going to cut into that. But use this a lot if you need to dig or make a groove in wood. It comes in very handy, so I like it. Quark Screw. This made my list of useless tools in the video that I made, and a lot of people got upset with me. Obviously, what they said was basically, hey, it's a corkscrew. It's for opening bottles of wine. And I realize that. I just don't, I guess not being a huge wine drinker, it doesn't come in handy for me all the time. And when I do have wine, I'm usually not using this corkscrew. I use one of my my dedicated corkscrews. But I guess you could save the day with it, so to each their own. Also have a little screwdriver here. This comes in handy quite a bit. It's a small flathead. If somebody has a loose screw in their eyeglasses, etc., it's great for that. You can save the day. Also there in the scales, as you can see, the pin. I did a review on the pin. It's supposed to be somewhat comical, but the pin's great. If you want to dig out splinters, use this in conjunction with the magnifying glass or your tweezers. But it's neat how they put it in there. The pin is an awesome tool. I love it. It's right there. It's used for, you know, if you're cleaning out maybe a groove or something. The pin comes in very, very handy. The main blade, Victorinox uses a high chrome steel. That helps for it to be corrosion resistant. Along with that, it's highly polished, also aiding in its corrosion resistance. The more you polish a metal, I guess you could say you're decreasing surface area for corrosion to occur. I know you would think by polishing you're increasing surface area, and I guess in a sense you are, but I'm talking about whenever you have crevices, you have more surface area for corrosion to occur. So highly polished, corrosion resistance, a lot of chrome. That's why it's so nice and shiny. Because of that, it doesn't hold an edge quite as well as your other metals, or your other steels. So that's one of the downfalls of it. However, for an everyday use knife like this, it serves the purpose quite well. I'm glad they used this steel. Since it doesn't hold an edge so well, it's very easy to sharpen this. You can sharpen this very quickly. I use the Spyderco Sharp Maker, I think they call it. Spyderco Triangular Sharp Maker or Triangle Sharp Maker. Works great. Couple slides on those ceramic rails with this, and it's razor sharp. So awesome knife. You have your little, or awesome blade. You have your little logos right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And you have one on the other side too. Okay, so that's your main blade. Smaller blade here, same steel. I actually use this one more. This is great for opening packages, say packing tape on a box. Just times where you don't want to have your knife go too deep. Works great. This is your file / hacksaw. Has both the metal file pattern on that side, wood file pattern on that side, and your little teeth there. This thing is great, like a hacksaw. I've used it quite a bit, and for some reason it hasn't got damaged. I thought it would, being a soft steel, but it hasn't. So that's nice. This is great for, say, if you got to cut a nail, a metal nail or something like that. Anytime you have to cut metal, this works quite well. Very, very nice tool. This is your fish scaler or descaler. Hook remover on the end. You would put that down the fish's mouth. You would then put that around the bend of the hook. Apply pressure. and maybe a little twist, and it's going to help dislodge the hook. I'm a fisherman. I have no use for this. A lot of people responded how they do use this. It's great for fishing. When I'm fishing and I would need to remove a hook, I use my forceps. They're usually on a zinger. I can just pull them right out. This would be a pain to reach in my pocket and take it out. It's just not for me. I'm sure some people will tell me how to use it all the time. They already have. I just don't need it. It does have a metric on the one side, centimeters, inches, so it can be used as a measuring device. Haven't used it for that either. I guess it is, since it's already partially sharpened. I was thinking of sharpening this the whole way, making this a serrated blade. It wouldn't be hard to do. Then that would be very useful. Then you would have a blade, and of course the straight edge. So I'm thinking of sharpening this. It won't be hard to do, just sharpening the one side. Next we have the scissors. Use these things all the time. Out of all the tools on this knife, this is the one I use the most. This is great for opening blister packages, plastic. Just cuts right through. A lot of times you'll need a scissor. Opening packages, cutting small rope, thread, maybe tags on garments, those little plastic, it's like heavy nylon fishing line or something. Snips right through them. These work awesome. Mine are getting a little bit dull. I've used them, I was cutting sandpaper with them when I was doing my firearm polishing, and that obviously is going to dull them. That's abusing them in my opinion. But even when they're dull, they're a scissor and they still work quite well. Your pliers right here. At first I thought I wasn't going to use these. I was used to the pliers on the Leathermans. I thought, what good is this small plier going to do? It's almost like a toy. But now that I have it, I use them a lot. They come in very handy. A lot of the plier work I do doesn't involve things that need a heavy duty pliers. These work fine. Also for small grabbing, it's almost like a needle nose. It can get into small areas for picking things up. Very handy plier. I like it a lot. You have your wire cutter right there. See that groove there at the in the V? Right there. You can put a small piece of wire in there and you'll cut right through it. So great little tool. Magnifying glass. Use this a lot. It is a very powerful magnifying glass. I don't know if you can see that there. It does a great job. If you have splinters or whatever, small print, reading, whatever the case may be, this works quite well. Mine, I pulled it out one time and I was looking at it and it had a haze on it. A haze as in it was scratched up. And you can still see some of the scratches in this thing. Despite how I do try to take care of it. I know I shouldn't be touching it there, but there was a haze and I was really bummed out about it. So what I did was I took some Mother's aluminum polish and I put it on there, and using a soft cloth I just rubbed it in a circular motion, and it took most of the haze out. I mean, I could have gotten it all out, but I just kind of got bored of it after a while. But so there's a little way to solve if you have these scratched up. Very nice tool though, magnifying glass. If you're looking at jewelry, if you have a wife or something that likes jewelry, looking at the stones, this works really well. It's very high magnification for something that small. Here we have the can opener. Great little can opener on here. I compared this to the Super Tool 300 can opener. I didn't make a video of it, but I like this one better. They both work excellent though. They're both excellent can openers. I just prefer this one. It's also good if it's like opening up juice. A can of juice to put a little slot in so it pours out. But once again, take a look at the tip. It is rounded off as opposed to being machined like the Leatherman, so it doesn't work quite as well for gripping. It does slip on occasion. No big deal though, it's not a deal breaker. And finally, the main flathead screwdriver. Let's compare it to the Leatherman here. It's also rounded off. See the corners. The Leatherman's almost sharp, like I said. It's Very nice. You could fix that by putting this on a grinding wheel and you know, making it like that, but I haven't done it yet. It's just a small little thing that I'm pointing out here. This is also your bottle cap opener, okay, and you have your wire stripper there. Works quite well for stripping wires of that gauge, which happens to be a commonly used gauge. I'm not sure what the number is. I'm not an electrician, but works great. Toothpick here, finishing up. Haven't used it, but I guess it's good it's there. It'll come in handy someday. Ballpoint pen, I've used this quite a bit. A lot of times you'd be surprised how often you need to write something down and don't have a pen handy or a pencil. This will work fine in emergency situations. You can write on your hand with it. It starts writing right away. So it's a great little pen. You can pick these up for about $3 or so if you lose them from the dealer. I know in today's day and age, with everyone having cell phones with memo pads and electronic voice memos, some would say, well, what do I need that for? I can just type it in my phone. And that's true, but for some reason, sometimes I've ended up using this over my phone. The convenience factor, I guess, is your main reason for that. Here we have your tweezers. In my opinion, if I had to say, these are a cheaply made tweezer. They're very thin metal, but they are absolutely awesome. Love these things. They are very good for very fine work. This metal that they use, once again, see how this one is actually like the Leatherman in that it's squared off. It's very very sharp edges. Very precise tweezer here. I compare it to some of the high-end ones that you might, that you might buy for fine work. So if you have a splinter, whatever, awesome tweezers right there. Love them things. Use them all the time. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Victorinox Swiss Champ. Awesome knife. This is my favorite, and I carry this on a daily basis. If you don't have one and you're into knives or into useful tools, I suggest you look into getting this. You can pick them up on eBay, $50–60. Don't pay full MSRP for this knife. You don't have to. Go on eBay, brand new. A lot of reputable dealers out there with a high rating, high seller rating, and get one. You'll be happy. Your comments are welcome below. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.